That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.
100% real, raw, and uncut. Deadass.
Hello, my name is Cedric, and along with my beautiful wife, Connie, we'll be hosting my brand new podcast, That's What I Said. I'm a retired Navy veteran that suffers from PTSD and anxiety, and we'll discuss how I cope with the mental illness through comedy and discussion. It's a podcast that will talk about everything from cryptocurrency to comedy. If we're worrying about the dollar going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's still a dollar, guess what? The value of that means absolutely nothing. Cryptocurrency in itself is the future of money. From spirituality to cannabis. To have cannabis on the Schedule 1 list is bullshit. I'm sorry, it is. It makes absolutely no sense. If it's a seed that can be planted and it has healing properties in it, why the hell is it in Schedule 1? Last time I checked, cocaine don't have healing property in it. From interracial relationships, I don't have a problem with people talking about interracial relationships. People try to talk bad about my interracial relationship just to think that they can get under my skin. I mean, really, it don't bother me. I mean, let's not make, call a spade a spade. But if you have a problem with someone that's in love, it shouldn't matter the race of the person. It's mental illness in our community. The problem is people want to put labels on it. Everybody wants to put color on everything. And as soon as you put color on it, it gets treated differently. The money gets treated funny. Because if it's dealing with Asians, guess what? It's going to take a longer process unless those leaders step up and get into the president's face or U.S. leaders' face and say, this is a problem in our community. Not leaving one topic unturned. If you want to hear real, authentic conversation, interviews, and comedy, please take time to listen to That's What I Said, because I said what I said.
Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. Listen to That's What I Said. Available on your favorite podcast platform.
Welcome to another episode of That's What I Said with Cedric Sanders. Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filters. This broadcast starts now.
Y'all know what it is. I ain't even gotta say it. Thank y'all for tapping in, tuning in. Y'all already know what it is. What's good, babe?
What's good, what's good, what's good? Thanks for tapping in and tuning in as always. We are live from Studio B. It's Tuesday. What's good? What's good?
Been a couple weeks.
What's happening?
It's been a couple weeks. We ain't been on, but we here. We here. Everything's good. Been an interesting couple weeks.
Yeah, sometimes you need a reset.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta reset and recharge. And I think a lot of it is, I'm not gonna lie, I had Super Bowl on my mind. I ain't gonna even lie. I had Super Bowl on my mind. It was a interesting last 2 weeks. Of course, had Super Bowl, Kansas City Chiefs against San Francisco 49ers, and went into overtime.
That was wild.
Had some
all the way wild.
Intimate clarity with my heart. It was one of those games where you just like, oh man, just get a first down. Oh man, score a touchdown. Okay, kick a field goal. Defense, come on. it was such a back and forth game. I think that
I was gonna say, I think you were yelling at the TV quite a bit.
Yeah, I was. It was a good game. Neither, to say the less, it was one of those games that defined the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, I think, as a dynasty. That's just my opinion. I mean, a lot of people will say, but Patrick Mahomes has won 3 Super Bowls, and it has put him in the conversation. I wouldn't say he's a GOAT. I wouldn't nowhere in the vicinity say that. I would just say that he has put himself in the conversation as, a great quarterback.
Towards it.
Yeah, he's working towards it. So, yeah, last 2 weeks has been very entertaining. We watched Super Bowl, Kansas City Chiefs won, and then the tragedy that happened at the parade last Wednesday.
Yeah.
Kind of, I wouldn't say took away from the celebration, but it made a lot of people kind of, step away and look at the reality of the state of the world that we're in. And it's sad because someone died during the parade, got shot, and it kind of took the focus, off of that, and people pay more attention to the fact that it's sad that you can't.
Injuries and children were hurt.
Right, 22 people got hurt or injured, and it was just one of those conversations that a lot of people don't want to have, and I'm not going to have it on my podcast because that's going to be a long conversation. May happen later down the road, but
prayers to the family.
Yes, definitely. What's going on for tonight? Let's talk about tonight's conversation. And it's, to me, and this is just me because of how my mind works when it comes to conversations, coming up with different things to talk about on the podcast, and kind of changing the format a little bit. Here in the next couple of podcasts, you're going to start seeing some changes when it comes to how we do the podcast and how we deliver it, make it more entertaining, as well as being a little bit more receptive to the audience. Being the fact that I do this podcast live on social media, as well as live on the Spreaker app with the podcast live, which is going to come to an end. I'm not going to be doing live audio. I'll be doing live video, but I won't be doing live audio. It won't change how you see or view the podcast. It'll just be how I distribute it. So the podcast itself would no longer be live audio on the Spreaker app. It will still be distributed and done on the Spreaker app. It just will not be done live. The audio will not be done live. I haven't announced a date for that, but when it happens, I'll make sure to let the audience know. But for tonight's topic, I kind of wanted to dive into something that I think we talk about, but not really dive into the conversation of really kind of understanding, or not even really just understanding, just having that conversation of entitlement. And we mention it a lot on the podcast. We probably talk about it a lot just in casual conversation, and especially in my age bracket, we talk about it a lot just with different things. And this conversation is, I think, needed more so in how we communicate and how we get a better understanding of how people think, and not just within your own social or cultural development. And I say development because most of all of our cultures and most of all of our understanding when we grow up, it's a development. It's a developmental process in our minds, and it's a developmental process in a lot of other people's minds. But how do we understand entitlement is completely different. I think when I was growing up, that was not even entitlement was a conversation, but you understood it humbly. I'll just say that you understood it humbly. So tonight's topic, entitled minds, empty libraries. Entitled minds, empty libraries. Navigating the knowledge drought. And I say that because not even just in my age bracket, people younger than me, people older than me, there's a barrier when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to getting to know new things and understanding, you know, all the hot new trends and everything else. There's a gap. And we've discussed it before. We've said this many times, you know, that gap is always generationally. You know, my generation, you know, grew up with the crack era and the development of cell phones and how they progressed throughout the years. And now the newer generation has always had newer devices. And
yeah, they had all the technology.
Right. And as these newer devices develop and getting better, they're benefiting from it. Yeah, we're benefiting from it too. But the older generation, I think they deal with it on a different level. They deal with it in the sense, this is a phone. It's easily accessible. I don't have to, you know, it's not plugged into a wall. You know, you don't have the traditional old school rotary phones like we used to have growing up. You have a phone that you can take with you everywhere you go.
Right.
And then you add the element of text messaging and surfing the web and taking pictures and
yeah, I was just gonna say
FaceTiming.
It's more than a phone.
It's more than a phone now.
Like
it's
a whole computer in your pocket.
Absolutely. So it goes without saying, I think, that, you know, we have all these different types of technologies that have evolved and all these different type of situational awareness things that's happened generationally, to where the older generation didn't have to worry so much about the things that the generation that they brought on this earth have to worry about. And then the generation that we brought on this earth, they have different types of worries. Mm-hmm. And I think the respect level for different generations has, I think, declined, just as well as the concept of the pursuit of knowledge has declined. And the sad reality is that we pay more attention. Let me rephrase it. I won't say we. I think people have taken more attention socially about what's going on with other people than what's really going on, you know, just within their own family dynamics. And the reason why I say that is there's a lot of I think, cultural gaps as well as generational gaps that we've all experienced, but we never attack, or I should say not even just attack, we never just pay attention to the fact that we all need to grow in some form or fashion in understanding these gaps. And not just because they're there, but understanding they're there for a reason. The gaps are there because people, I wouldn't say they're lazy. They just don't want to take the time to understand it or learn it because it's not for me to learn. You know, I've grown out of that kind of thing. So, you know, that's for you, you know, and if you're good at it, that's great. Then you can teach me how to, you know, be better at it or how to use it or whatever the case may be. And that's how we all have learned. It's like we've taken this step back, and instead of not even just embracing the fact that we don't know, people don't want to have that burden within themselves to say they don't know something. And it's okay to not know. It's, I think, an opportunity for us to just be okay with not knowing. That's the problem.
Thank you, Mr. Best.
Thank you, Mr. Best. I appreciate you. I really do. I just don't understand why we have such a innate ability to just be mad when we don't know something and just be like, I'm too old for that. I don't need to know that stuff. Okay, that's great. But now you have this, you've given this to people to basically railroad other people in that age bracket. Just because you're not willing to learn it doesn't mean that someone that's at the same age and same capability as you is not willing to learn it. They want to learn it. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. Who knows? but you're given the assumption that people in the same background as you, or even same ethnicity or cultural, whatever the case may be, you're giving these people a reason to say, well, they don't want to learn it, so why are we trying to teach it? I have a big problem with that, because we systemically have a problem with understanding that as the world evolves and as technology evolves, we have to evolve. We can't just stop and say, I don't want to learn that, and just be comfortable and stagnant in absolutely the old paradigm of everything that's going on. And then when it's obsolete and nobody's using it, now you're really mad because didn't nobody teach you the new stuff. No, you didn't want to learn it. You didn't want to evolve. You wanted to stay stagnant. So I really wanted to talk about this because we have this sense of entitlement that we're going to always be taken care of, when that's not the case. Some people just don't care. If you're not on their level, they're not going to teach it to you. They're just going to keep going.
Right.
And benefit off the knowledge that they have. And then it's not reciprocated because we have this mentality of feeling like, I don't need to know that. What am I going to do that at my age? That's for, my kids or my grandkids to learn.
Yeah, I was just going to say that same thing. Like,
let me ask you this.
For the kids and the grandkids, not for me.
Let me ask you this. Who do you think is going to come to you when they don't know something?
Right, your kids and your grandkids.
They're not going to ask their teachers.
No,
half of them don't even want to talk to their teachers in school. You sent them there to learn something, and guess what? They sit there quietly learning. They may get called on to answer some questions, but real life questions, they're not asking their teachers.
Yeah, but really, are they truly learning, or are they just sitting there listening to what's being discussed?
They're learning based off of what you sent them there to learn. It's not going above and beyond to learn something extra. You're programmed to learn mathematics at a certain time. When you're in grade school, you have spelling tests at a certain time. You have English at a certain time. You have math at a certain time. You have science at a certain time. And then when you go to high school, then you have all these subjects broken down into different periods.
Right. But I think what I was really trying to get at is, are they really learning anything, or are they just sitting there quietly?
I don't want to say that it's. I don't want to assume anything, because I remember when I was in school.
For some, it's a talk fest.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. Sometimes your kids, the only conversation they have is with their parents. So when they go to school, this is the only freedom they have to have a conversation with someone their age. And guess what? A lot of times they can't do it because the teacher's telling you, shut up and learn.
Right.
Be quiet. No disruptions. Why are you talking? Go stand in the corner. I'm going to call your mom and dad if you keep talking. It's like,
I will not talk in class 500 times.
Right on the board. That's what we had to do. Y'all got dry erase boards. So that is
right.
Y'all didn't have the problems we had when we had to go and clean the chalk. Clean the erasers from the chalkboard.
Yep.
Oh my God, that was. Anyway,
appreciate your comment, Mr. Best. This is so on time.
I just I just feel like, in order for us to promote a better environment, and I'm not saying that we need to homeschool our kids. This is not what I'm saying. I'm not trying to promote that whatsoever. What I'm trying to say is that the environments that we produce for our children is the responsibility that we all have. But how much of that responsibility do you take seriously when it comes to not just your kids' education, but life lessons?
Yeah, everything else that goes along with that. Being a parent to the child and teaching them the financials, teaching them how to cook, how to do laundry, how to clean, like, I
think that's a cultural thing, to be honest with you. I mean,
what else? But I mean, it should be a responsibility as a parent to the child to show them what it's going to be like when they're out of the home and on their own in their own place.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I think too, it's not that's the hard part. we as parents know if our kids are just going to be lazy and not do everything that they need to do. And we try to instill in them and teach them the ways that, we want to give to them that they may not have had, or even if you did have it, you want to reciprocate it.
Yeah.
But I also think that I can't put my upbringing out in the world and say, you should do this and you should do that. I can't do that because now I'm programming other people to be raised the way I was. And that's not what I'm trying to do. And that's not the way society should live. There should be responsibilities as adults that we teach our kids the basic things in life. Be responsible with your money. Create a budget. Why should I create a budget? Because then you know how much money's coming in, how much money's going out. Okay, I understand. But you also need to know this aspect. You got to put your money to work. Well, how am I going to do that? That means you need to invest. You need to learn investments. You probably won't learn that in school. I will teach you this on the weekend when we going out to the park and you want to go and feed the ducks or whatever. We can talk about that. But I will get you in a position if these are the things you want to learn. You got to make your kids interested, not in money, but success. You want them to be interested in success on their terms. And what I mean by on their terms, you can't teach your kid how to fail unless you show them what success is. And even if you can't show them what success is, you can give them descriptions and show them certain things that what emulates success. Now, people want to say
you can provide those big examples to them.
Right. But see, this is where disparity goes into fact, because my description of success is going to be totally different than someone else's description of success. True. Based off of not what I don't have. It may be what I do have, but what other people don't have. And to me, that's not success. Because your success is not about how much money you got in the bank or where you live at.
It doesn't have a transaction on it.
Exactly. Success is not a transactional figure that we all can just achieve, because I can sit here and tell you so many different financial things that'll make you successful, and probably 10% of the people that hear it will actually do it or try to do it. So that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that if we're actually giving yourself an opportunity, peace and love, my brother, what's good? If you're giving yourself the opportunity to be the example, that means you have to be transparent enough to be the example in success and failure. And what people don't understand is when we try to teach success, we never show failure. That to me is like what is it? The misrepresentation of success is showing people how to be successful and never telling them about failure. To me, that's what that is. You have to show failure. You have to be able to say, okay, not everything that you can do is going to be a success.
Right.
How do you embrace failure? You have to embrace failure. People will rather run away from it. Exactly. Maybe even 5%. Absolutely. And the sad part, the sad part is, and it's funny that Andre's speaking about this, because I commented on a post that he did, and my brother always posts something about financial literacy. Please follow my brother Andre Little. He's always posting about financial literacy. He's up in New Jersey. He's doing his thing up there. And failure is built into the fabric of success. Absolutely. But the post that he did is always an empowering post, because it gets people to think outside of the box of what they're showing you on mass media. On mass media, when it talks about money, what is the first thing they're talking about? The stock market.
Every time.
They're always talking about the stock market. They're always talking about inflation. They're always talking about rate hikes. They're always talking about the war over here, the war over here. We're funding this war. We're funding that war. We're doing this. We're doing. It's so many different conversations that go into how America is doing with their money and what they're doing with it. Where in the morning times, at least out here on the East Coast, in the morning times, if you listen to these morning shows, they talk about retirement funds and how you
Oh my
can,
gosh,
yes, how you can
every
retire.
day.
There's different companies that want to paint your house and different companies that want to organize your house. They have all these people that come in and talk to the local television stations and the radio stations. Just listen to them in the morning time if you have the opportunity. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, but
It's like between like 6 and 9, they talk about all this
if you
stuff.
think about it, yeah, if you think about it, they're putting information out there, but less than 10%, 5% of people are actually going to listen to it and actually apply it. And even if you don't qualify for it financially, the next conversation or the next thing you should have in your mind is how do I qualify? How can I get qualified? But we don't have those conversations. It's like when you hear no, that's it. And everybody says no means no. Okay, figuratively speaking, in some things, yes. But when it comes to your knowledge and you getting out of a position of being out of this mundane sense of reality of how the evolution of where we put ourselves in, going to school, you got to go to work. And I did a reel earlier this week talking about how having a job is a scam. And thanks to my brother Anthony Turner for sending me that. It was like, I've been saying that for I don't know how long on my podcast. Having a job is a scam. It's like we've had these, I don't know how many times we have these conversations. You're working for somebody that's already paying their own bills. You're just a bill to them. And everybody wants to attach it to slavery. No, this is so that they don't get accused of slavery. Are you serious right now?
Damn.
This is so they don't get accused of slavery. They're paying you a wage to work you. That's it. You're going to work for someone else. You think you're working so that you can bring that money home so you can have the lavish life you want to have? No, you're not. They put you on salary so they can control the outcome of what you do financially.
Yeah, because
do you want me to speak louder into the mic so you can hear that?
Because the first thing you're going to do as soon as you get paid is pay your bills.
The bills you can afford. The bills that you can afford so they can systemically put you in an area where they can control you. If you work a job and say you make $60,000 a year, they know where you can live at.
Right, exactly.
They know absolutely where you can live at. That's a control.
Yeah.
That is control. Do you think they're going to build luxury apartments near where you work at?
Nah.
And even if they do you think they expect you to live in them?
I was just going to say, do you even qualify to live there on the amount of money that they give you on an annual basis? Absolutely
I was getting ready
not.
to say that, and my brother Body just put it in the comments. They pay you enough so you won't quit. You can afford a car. You can afford to take care of your kids and send them to school, buy them clothes, put food in the house, pay the bills.
And that's it.
And that's it. That's it. Take care of the comments, babe.
So our brother Andre just put in the comments and said, it's sad. It's so sad how they're keeping the real facts about our economy and financial strength of our country. Oh my. $100
billion exists. The banking system in 3 weeks last year. Not a peep. Absolutely.
Poor people ain't doing this. The wealthy is preparing for the monetary reset of the system.
Period.
That is nuts.
Okay. I'm not going to put color on this comment, but attach what you will. If you don't pay attention to what a certain group of people are doing, you're behind.
Absolutely.
If you're not paying attention to what a certain group of people are doing, you're behind. No, I'm not saying you're supposed to live like these people. No, I'm not saying you're supposed to, glorify these people. Pay attention to what they're doing.
Definitely will.
Pay attention to what they're doing financially. Oh, yeah, most definitely. Please Google it. I've been in conversations with my brother Andre on Facebook about this very subject. Y'all need to be paying attention. 2025 is going to be a year. If you behind, you're going to stay there financially. There ain't going to be no recovery. There is not going to, I'm going to put it to you like this. If you're not,
there's no catch-up game for that.
There's no catch-up. Absolutely. The catch-up game is right now. The catch-up game is right now. Yes, absolutely. People want to talk crap about me going to the Super Bowl, but I had to take out a second mortgage. Man, if I ain't have it, I wouldn't have gone. Period. Yeah. Period. My brother, okay, so let's be transparent. My brother Mario went to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. He's a San Francisco 49er fan. And of course, messaged me, asked me if I can go. I was like, no, I can't. And jokingly was like, cash some of that crypto so you can go, And financially for me, I knew I could probably go, but I knew that I was going to set some things back in order for me to go. And I probably could have made it a successful trip, but I didn't want to take that risk. Excuse me. I didn't want to take that risk.
Yeah.
And then Mario goes, and then he's been getting nothing but flack from people, and I think it's jealousy, to be honest with you. Let's be real.
It has to be.
It's nothing to do with the fact of my brother going to the Super Bowl and watching his team.
How you funded it?
Exactly.
Who cares? It's your money.
It's your money. And guess what? He discussed it with his wife.
You went. You had a great time.
You enjoyed yourself, brother. I'm not gonna even lie. I am happy that he actually went.
Right.
And this is the dynamic that we're in right now. I sold food stamps. She's stupid. But
I can't do that.
This is the dynamic we're in, okay?
Right.
The dynamic we're in is where people are jealous or envious of other people's success, that they feel like they need to capitalize off that. And it's like, well, you was able to go to the Super Bowl, so I know you got a couple $100 I could borrow. I just need a couple. It's like, bro, stop. Stop with the
get out of my inbox with that BS.
Bro, and the thing that's upsetting me, I'm not gonna lie about this. My Cash App got hacked or whatever it is, so I don't have a Cash App no more. And I'm to the point now where I'm not gonna even create another one. Like, I am not gonna create another Cash App. And it goes back to conversation a couple podcasts ago where I was like, do you know who created Cash App and why they created it? It wasn't to the benefit of sending money digitally fast. That was the idea. That gave people purpose. But it was to control you.
Yeah, because
you got to do a 1099 now on your dang on Cash App.
I was just about to say,
what?
You have to do paperwork.
I got a 1099 my money that I put in the Cash App that I want to send to people. Are you serious? Don't have a business or a job that has a Cash App, right, and you get paid through Cash App. Now you got a 1099 that, and then you got to claim that as your
wages,
as
or
income.
Whatever. Yeah,
as income.
It's nuts.
Y'all better know how to do y'all taxes.
For real.
But going back, I feel people have. I don't blame you. Some people tell me to send them some Cash App. I'm blocking them. I don't blame you. But I've looked at this as not even just as healing. It's sad. It's really sad because we've come to this position because of selfishness. People are entitled. They feel entitled because they know you, or because we're family, and because they don't want to listen or even take the opportunity to say, okay, this is not comfortable for me. I need to get out of this. How can I get out of this? I need to talk to so-and-so because he's always talking about this. Maybe he can help teach me so I can learn how to, navigate through this financial situation or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And it's not just about finances. It's just one thing that I'm picking.
They just need some guidance.
Right. That's what it is. They need some guidance. And to guide people, something people don't realize this. In order to be guided in any kind of direction, you can't feel a sense of entitlement. Now, you might, because you know them and they're family to you, they're going to give you the information on a different level and probably give you a lot more than they're teaching people because you're family. But what are you doing with that information?
Yeah.
are you still complaining about it because you
Right,
got
soon as
bad
you
habits?
As soon as you hang up the phone, you like this MF. Really? He just said da 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 da. Man, I ain't doing that shit. Click.
Like literally. I mean, it's
And literally they'll throw their phone down and then go about the business doing whatever the hell they was doing.
right. And then what's so bad about it is like a couple of months go by and then complain about the same thing that they just got taught.
Right.
Or someone shares some information to them, they will go right back in that same, that same kind of conversation when they hear this person speak and pull them to the side, be like, yeah, man, I tried to do what you told me, man. It didn't work out because you didn't do it.
There's no way you could have done
There's no way you could have done it.
Not even a little bit.
It was foolproof. You could have made $5.
Right.
It was foolproof. And the sad part about it is even with our kids growing up and trying to navigate their way through life, and you try to share certain things with them, some will listen, others will not. And the ones that don't want to listen, those are the ones that have that sense of entitlement. You got to take care of me because I don't have a job. No, I don't. No, I don't. I didn't fail you. You failed yourself. And now you expect someone to pick up the pieces because you're too lazy to do it yourself? I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But I am not going to just sit here and try to take care of you when you're not taking care of yourself. Exactly. When we was telling everybody to buy Dogecoin when it was 17th of a penny. Exactly. It wasn't even a penny. I'm sitting here telling people, y'all need to get this. I don't care. Get a Robinhood account and buy $5 worth, $10 worth, $20 worth. Just buy it. And then what happened 3 years ago?
Yep.
It went to 75 cents. Everybody was sitting there like, oh, man, I could have been rich. No, you couldn't have.
Right.
Because it was a scam to you.
Appreciate that, Mr. Best.
I appreciate you.
That.
And it's, okay, look. I'm doing everything in my power to just like be good, but some things you can't complain about. Everything is not a scam.
True.
Some people that are in network marketing have this weird way of trying to exactly. I try to tell people all the time.
All right, Mario.
If I learn something, I'm going to do everything in my power to try to teach the masses or tell the masses about it.
Yeah. Because
and it was like,
you don't want to be the only person with the information. You're like, yo,
it's lonely at the top.
I just watched this stuff go from this to this.
I did it a few weeks ago.
I need to tell folks.
I did it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm still in the crypto, but I've went into this lane.
You evolved into a different level.
Yes, I evolved into a different level. Yes, I've I've evolved.
And I still don't understand that shit.
I know you don't. I've tried to teach her, and I'm slowly but surely getting her into it. But I've evolved into this space that involves putting that money to work. Mm-hmm. And the reward for putting that money to work, you get what's called an airdrop. And a lot of these airdrops are existing crypto or crypto that hasn't hit the market yet. And depending on how much you have put into the market for the action that goes on, it's, oh yeah, I know. And brother, I'm gonna be getting with you.
Absolutely.
Trust me. Me and Connie been talking about it. Yes, I'm doing some changing around the podcast, but yeah, brother, I'm gonna have you on here pretty soon.
Once again, everybody, please go follow Andre Little. He is the knowledge.
Trust me, I bounce things off of him that I know he may know a little bit more about, and his conversations and his posts that he does on Facebook just, man,
absolutely.
So
motivational guidance.
Facts. So I tried to get myself in a better position with learning crypto. And when I learned about how I can leverage my money, get rewards for it, and then still leverage the rewards to make money off of that, and get an asset that hasn't came out on the market yet. And when it does, it's a possibility that I can, 10x, 12x, 20x, or whatever the case may be with my initial investment, why wouldn't I do that? Right. So I've tried to get people to understand that even on a basic level, you can dollar cost average into cryptocurrency. Guess what? You can't do that with a Roth IRA. You can't do that with the normal IRA. You can't even do that with your savings account, dollar cost average into your own savings account. You can't even do that with your bank account. You can't do it. I'm newsflash.
No.
You can't dollar cost average into your own bank account that, guess what? The bank arbitrages your money and makes money off of your money that's in your bank.
Right.
You think the money that you put in your bank is making you money? How?
No.
Please argue with me that you make more money putting money in the bank, and I will tell you, I don't care if you got $10,000 in that bank account and you leave that $10,000 in there for a year. I can put $10,000 in crypto, and I guarantee you I will make more than you in the first day that you're going to make all year. Mm-hmm. Guarantee it. I don't care what bank you use. You could use a bank that has a 3% APR. I'm going to make more money than you in one day off of one cryptocurrency that I stake for $10,000 that you'll ever make in a bank. If you're trying to figure out how to comment on YouTube. My brother Keith, what's good, my brother?
Andre just said private banking with your own assets with cryptocurrency, 10%, 14% to 19%.
Period.
Damn.
Period.
Take off.
Period. This is a true statement. I appreciate that so much. Absolutely. And the thing is like whatever I learn, I try to teach my wife, not just so that we can have, communal conversation on the podcast, but I try to teach her so she understands what I'm doing. Like, and in hopes that she would actually do it or say, babe, I want to do this and here's what I got. What do I need to do?
The crazy part is that we could sit and Cedric could tell me about all this different stuff with crypto and that kind of stuff. And I will listen, but my comprehension on the crypto ain't there. Like,
it's all right though, because I'm gonna keep
I know you're gonna keep instilling it.
I'm gonna keep pushing it because eventually
I'm gonna get there. It's taking me some time. As long as you've been doing it, I see what's happening and that kind of stuff for yourself. And I know I'm going to get there. It's just, okay, I have to understand all that wallet business, and I'm not even remotely close on that.
Let's do this. Let's do this because you know what? I got time.
What?
I saw a comment from another brother I was in the Navy with, and this is what I'm gonna do for 5 minutes. Actually, 3 minutes.
We have another comment that said, I'm listening, but it's just the fact of how not knowing how to get into it all.
Right.
Yep.
And that's the conversation I'm getting ready to have. So I'm going to say this. Anything when it comes to money and anytime with finance, I say go to an expert. This is not financial advice. However, this is some type of understanding in finances that I've experienced personally, and I'm providing it because I'm a willing participant in my failures as well as my successes. So if you're thinking about getting into cryptocurrency, this is the thing I would tell you to do. Go on Google, go on YouTube, do whatever it is you want to do as far as research goes. A lot of these places are going to take them back to something that you're comfortable with, whether it's you reading it or you visually, looking at it and hearing it. YouTube, whatever the case may be. Some of these YouTube videos, and I'm going to tell you this right off rip, some of these YouTube videos are not all American people talking about crypto. So they're going to talk about different apps and different platforms that you can't get to. Yeah, exactly. So what I suggest is this. if you really want to know crypto and you really want to have an idea of what cryptocurrency is and how you can invest in it, you can either hit me up or listen next week. Because next week I'm actually doing my version of Crypto for Dummies. But it's not going to be Crypto for Dummies. It's Ced Crypto and what I can teach you the basics when it comes to cryptocurrency.
Y'all heard that right here. He gonna talk the crypto stuff next week. Y'all make sure you bring all your people to the platform so that everybody,
if there's anybody that you want to
learn,
and not to talk over you, babe, but if there's anybody that you absolutely want to, or that's been saying, hey, I want to learn about crypto, but I want to know a little bit more because people talk to me about it, but I just don't understand what they're talking about. I'm going to break it down just like my brother in the comments said. It's like baby talk.
Right.
I'm going to take it all the way back to like elementary. I'm going to make it so simple for you. Okay? I'm not going to get into technical analysis. I will have visual. This will be the first interactive podcast that I've done in probably a year and a half. So I will have visuals. There will be a picture-in-picture where you see my picture now on the video. It will be side by side with graphics. I will have graphics that will show you what I'm talking about. Okay?
Yes. Please bring all your folks. Anybody that you know that wants to learn about crypto in any way, shape, or form, please, please, please like, share. Next week, Tuesday.
7 p.m. Eastern time. Okay? On Tuesday. Now, I'm going to say this. If you want to know more than what I'm teaching, on Saturday, I will do, like, not even just one-on-one. I will do groups where, like, you can ask all the questions. You can do everything and anything you want to do. So not this Saturday, next Saturday. So next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to do that podcast where we talk about nothing but crypto. That Saturday, if there's any questions, whoever you bring.
If there's enough interest.
Yeah, if there's enough interest.
You'll do a separate thing on Saturday.
And it'll be private. It'll be video, but it'll be private. It won't be telecast. It won't be sent on YouTube or Facebook or none of that. It'll be private. Now, if there's no interest, then there's no interest.
Right.
But there will be two parts. I'll put it to you like that. There will be two parts. So there'll be one next Tuesday and then the Tuesday after that. So, yeah, if there's anybody, I don't care who it is. I don't care how young they are.
Family, friends.
Anybody that says, yes, I would like to know more about crypto and this guy's going to dumb it down to where we can understand it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break it down in the simplest form. No, I'm not going to go back and have this discussion about the dollar and things like that. I'm going to leave that to my brother Andre Little because the way he breaks it down is without question the best thing ever. And if I can have the conversation with him beforehand, I might actually have him on, if not this Tuesday, the following Tuesday after that.
Right.
Okay. And to understand crypto, you do have to understand the dollar and where it's at, because that plays a big part in cryptocurrency. The value of the dollar.
Yes.
Just look at Bitcoin. It's been teeter-tottering around 53,000 a day. Ethereum hit 3,000 a day and it's dropped back down and it's doing some correction. What does that mean? What are you talking about?
That's what we'll get into.
We're going to get into that stuff because this is the same movement and typical ups and downs that cryptocurrency have, the stock market does. And even if you don't know the stock market, you're going to learn a little bit about it in crypto when I going about cryptocurrency, because you have to know that.
Yes.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. I'll hit you up tomorrow for sure. So make sure y'all tap in and tune in next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. It will be nothing but crypto. It'll be Ced Crypto's 101. Ced Crypto 101. And I'm going to go through the basics. I'm not going to go advanced. I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to give you my suggestions as far as beginner platforms, because that's exactly where you should start at, beginner platforms. And I'll tell you my reasons for starting there, the good and the bad. There's some other platforms that are not so beginner, but they're beginner friendly that I'm going to throw in there. Not personal use, just from my experience. And I'm going to also talk about what is dollar cost averaging. But I'm going to give you some homework before y'all even decide to even waste your time. I ain't going to even say waste your time, because it won't be a waste of time, but taking the time to, listen to the podcast, I want you to do some homework. Understand what blockchain is. Understand what cryptocurrency, what it is, like a good definition of it. And then don't have the pressure of having $100 on Tuesday. Don't have the pressure of, having $1,000 on Tuesday. Have the pressure of having no money at all, because it's going to be the most wealthiest conversation that you're going to hear. And you do it what you will.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, like I said, it's not financial advice. However, the thing what I'm going to be providing is, I think, a doorway that's going to end generational curses.
Right.
That's all. That's the only conversation I'm going to have.
You can Google what blockchain is. You can Google what cryptocurrency is, and
what's up, cousin?
And get your feet wet with those two things. Look at them. Get an understanding of it, and bring that to the table on Tuesday evening.
Absolutely. And something else that y'all need to realize, I'm not going to change how I talk. I'm not going to change how I talk. I'm not going to change how I deliver things. I deliver them in the most comfortable way as possible. However, this is how I talk.
Without him saying he's not trying to put his foot up your ass.
Well, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that part. I'm not judging. I'm not judging you. I don't never put people in any kind of bubble and say, "Oh, you should know this." That's not what I do.
Nope, absolutely not.
But I will say this: don't have an expectation to make money if you're not willing to put money into it.
Oh, well.
Don't come at me so, I want to make $100 today. No, it doesn't work that way.
Right. And I listened to you during that podcast thing, and you said this and you said that, and I went and did it, but I didn't get nothing.
You didn't dollar cost average into it either. Because people have this empty expectation that if I put $100 in Bitcoin, that tomorrow when I wake up, it's going to be $200. That ain't how it works. Bitcoin is up almost $53,000. No risk, no reward. Absolutely.
Yep.
Scare money don't make money.
Sure don't.
Okay. That has been my motto ever since I started doing this crypto. I will tell you guys next week how much money I've lost, and I will tell you how much money I've made. I'll be transparent. I will be completely transparent. I won't tell you tonight, because that's not the conversation to have. Mm-mm. I mean, if it's going to draw views, I don't care about that. I will be transparent and say this. I have made more money than I've lost. I have made more money than I have lost. I will say that. I will say this. I am not far from making six figures totally in crypto. I will leave it at that. I'm not far. I will also say this. The smallest amount of money that you can get in the crypto with is going to be the biggest reward that you can see when you actually have patience.
Yes.
And the reason why I say this is this. If you start out with $20, so you can only do $20 a month, and that's what you can do every month, you have an opportunity to say, I want to put my money into this because this is moving better than this, and I'm going to try this week.
Right. And
see what happens. And then the next week comes around and you look at it and be like, okay, it's doing some movement. I'm good with that. But don't have, and I'm going to say this, just because your money's in cryptocurrency doesn't mean you're going to be a millionaire tomorrow.
That's true. That's true.
Just because you put $100 in there don't mean you're going to have $1,000 next month. I'm going to say this. There's strategies you have to learn how to be you have to be patient with yourself, and there's strategies you have to learn so that you know when to move your money and when not to move your money.
And you cannot look at your
I got you, cousin.
account every day.
Yeah,
don't. Day.
I'm gonna talk about that in the beginning.
No.
I'm gonna talk about that on next week. I'm gonna talk about that next week. So if y'all want to learn about crypto, I don't care who it is. I don't care how old you are, young, old, little, tall, short, fat, gay, straight. I don't care what it is. Bring them on in. Bring
your friends, your family.
Absolutely. Great things come to those who wait. Absolutely. And trust me. I've been doing crypto since 2016. 2016. I've known about it since 2007, 2008. I didn't get into it until 2016. And if y'all scroll up the comments and you see Mario's comment when Dogecoin was in it. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Eric? I see you, Aunt.
Sending love.
Sending love, Aunt Carol. I had talked to Dad earlier. I was really pushing the crypto thing. I got off of it because I didn't think people was going to listen to me. And then me and my brother Andre was talking, and I was just gaining knowledge, understanding different types of financial strategies and financial awareness tools. And then I took that from myself and did some testing on my own, dollar cost averaging, learning how to do technical analysis, what technical analysis is, and analyzing what I like. Because you can't put your money into something if you don't know how to analyze it.
Right.
You could put your money in a Roth IRA, but really, what are you putting your money into? Something you can't touch for a couple of years, right?
A couple.
But
Shoot.
Are y'all really putting your money into you caught my live? Hey, that's a rarity, ain't it?
Right. And I can attest to what Banks is saying. He said he can testify to the journey, no lie being told. Facts. Right. Because Banks have been on this journey with me and Ced for a long time.
Facts. That's a fact. That is a fact. And this is not to toot my own horn, but I will say this. I had so many losses in my first 2 years in crypto that I was frustrated.
Absolutely.
I was just putting money into it and
mad as hell that it wasn't doing nothing.
Right. And then a few weeks later, it would drop down and then I would just cash it out.
Right.
And then
not move it to something else.
Not move it to something else.
Just take it and spend it on something at the store.
Because the last gem I'm going to give you before we get up out of here tonight and I close out this topic is this. Do not put money in there that you're not willing to lose.
Absolutely.
Your portfolio is going to go up higher and higher, and you're going to be like, oh, well, I need $500 and I got to take it out. I need to take this out because I got to pay this bill or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You start doing that with crypto, that shows you the habits you have when you have money in your savings account. And this is a conversation you got to have with yourself. If you're really trying to save money and something comes up and you feel like, oh, I got to have that. Don't do it. Yes. Stock market, CD, and also money market. Yeah.
There you go, body.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Don't bet your bill money when you're gambling. Let's have that conversation.
Yep.
Let's have that conversation. How many people bet on the Super Bowl and bet that the 49ers is going to win or bet that the Chiefs are going to win?
Rent.
I mean, people bet so much money
mortgage.
And was wrecking TVs.
Oh, my gosh. Insane.
Exactly. There are only two types of investors, those who will lose money and those who will make money. I've learned all of those. I've been through all of that. And see, you can't have people follow you or listen to you when you're trying to provide and help a community of people understand something when it involves financial, unless you are transparent with your own walk.
Yeah.
People are not going to listen to you.
You have to be. You have to be transparent with everything that you do, especially when you're talking about financials.
Right. Right.
Especially when you're talking financials. Because if you can't physically put up on a screen, and that old saying goes, put up or shut up.
Right.
if you can't show the true facts in black and white of what you are doing, ain't nobody gonna believe what you're doing.
Nope, they're not, and they're gonna stop following you. They're gonna stop following you.
They're gonna stop following you. They're
and
gonna stop talking to you. They're gonna be like, "Oh, he's so full of shit."
I'm gonna say, you're right. I'm gonna say this
for real.
I'm gonna say this: the people that we follow or pay attention to on social media or all these reality shows, are they giving financial hints and tips? They're millionaires and billionaires, but are they giving you hints and tips? No, they want you to buy they next this. They want you to buy their next that. Go buy my makeup line. Go do this.
Right, my clothing, my
clothing and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But they sending you to Walmart to go spend your money, but you won't create your own business so you can keep your money at home, right? You gonna go to Walmart and buy all their products, but you won't support your brother down the road that's providing financial literacy classes so you can buy precious metals and keep assets that you can tangibly hold on to that make you money.
In your own household.
Not to mention, you paying your kids cryptocurrency because you know they're going to put it in Tether and they're just going to hold it in Tether. And then when it gets us to a certain amount, they're going to send it to the bank so they can go buy whatever clothes they need to buy. See, we paying our kids allowance for them to spend it. We were paid allowance for us to what? Spend it. Because that's all we was taught.
Yeah.
You get $100. Oh, I want to go to the mall so I can go buy me this new outfit. I want to go and buy these J's. Come on, Mom, let me get $100. I've been good. I cleaned my room. I cut the grass like you told me. You know, I did the dishes, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And it's like, how are we okay with that? We shouldn't be okay with that. It's not giving you the okay feeling of been there, done that.
Yeah.
If you've been there, done that, why are we continuously teaching us that? That to me is systemic, just right there. We have to end generational curses and we have to stop creating them.
True.
So with that being said, anything for the people before we get up out of here?
Man, this was such a powerful, powerful show. I really, truly do hope that everybody has the opportunity to go back and hit rewind and replay this podcast, because you are going to learn some things that either you didn't know or you may have heard but just didn't listen to. Go back and hit replay on this. Share this with your family and friends and whoever else you may know. Don't forget, Tuesday next week, Ced Crypto 101. I'm out. Have a great week.
We're going to do Crypto Ced 101 next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, right where y'all are watching me at or listening to me at. Whether you're watching me on social media or you're listening to me on the Spreaker app, please download the Spreaker Podcast app so you can get a notification every time I go live, or you can follow me on all social media channels. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central time. For all my people down in Kansas City, y'all know what time it is. We won the Super Bowl. Hey, make sure y'all hit that dang like button. Every time, you know, when I go live and I do things, I would like to have an idea of who's listening and looking. I know my people on Facebook hit it, so I appreciate y'all. And make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe and support the channel. I can't do this by myself, y'all. I really can't. Peace and love to y'all, man. We're going to be up out of here. And guess what? Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm starting Ced Crypto 101. I hope to see y'all there. Yeah, 2 p.m. Hawaiian time. I'm out of here. Peace.
Thanks for listening to another episode of That's What I Said with Cedric Sanders. Make sure to like and subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode.
That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.
100% real, raw, and uncut.